Hey everybody, we are live. We are back today with Miss Carissa Grant, and we're here to talk about Worthy Chaos, of course. She has been busy with everything, And one thing I want to say before we start the show today is that I don't think nobody beats you on shipping out of Kickstarter. I will tell you, like literally, we just got done with the hardcover, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
literally paid it, and then like within a week it was in my hands. So that is
I
freaking
try to ship
awesome.
the day of or the day after, depending on when I end. So yeah, I try. Yeah. If your payment goes through right away, then you'll probably get it in like 3 days.
Mm. And I appreciate that too, because
Well, I'm very impatient. I hate to wait, so I figure everyone else hates the wait. So so I try to get them out as fast as possible. Plus, I can't relax till they're out. I don't know how these people do it, waiting months. Like I could not do that. So
I will tell you, I'm so used to waiting for months and months and months on things. It's like, okay, it'll get here when it gets here. But as long as you communicate with people, I don't care. It's like we know it's coming. It'll get here. You paid for it, and it's a company that you trust. So they're going to take care of you. It's just
well,
some of
I
these.
some of them take like I believe someone told me it took them over a year to get their thing. I already sent issues 8, 9, and 10 to the printers. So, and all the variants. So they should ship right away. I haven't, so what happened was normally I order the regular covers like weeks before or the campaign before, and then I'll order variants like the day of it ends and do like 2 to 6 day shipping. And I paid the 2 to 6 day printing, and I was fine paying the extra until they raised it from like 450 to 650 per issue. And I was like,
Mm,
yeah, I can't do that. So instead, I decided to order 3 issues and all their variants because if you order a certain amount, you get a small price break. And since I wasn't paying expedited shipping, then I get another price break. So I'm hoping though that it arrives before the end of the campaign. So I still have 3 more weeks. So I think it will. I ordered it like 2.5 weeks ago. So I think they will, but you have no guarantee when you order regular. It says 2 weeks plus. So it could be whatever. So that makes me very nervous. But once I order those, I have my next 3 campaigns already, at least most of them. I might have to order more. It depends if I get a lot of backers or whatever. But so right now I have 8, 9, and 10 sent to printers, and 12 is in the middle of being drawn. I think we're at issue 19. Page
19, man, I
19.
got to see that.
The what script?
Well, if you said you're at 19 already, I
Oh,
got to see that in the book.
so issue 12 is halfway drawn, and I just finished the script to issue 20. So we're only on 12 being made. But 12 is the end of book 2. So book 2 is going to be done in the next month or two. Um, and then on to book 3. I have 2 more scripts to finish on book 3, and then that's done. But I have all my variant covers for pretty much all of 2024 and 2025, and probably some of 2026. But every time I find an artist, I was like, "Oh, make me a cover." So I'm sure I'll buy more. But yeah, it's an addiction, I tell you. But
I tell you I mean, we've got the new one right now, right? And
this
the
is
new,
issue 8. Yeah,
and so I just put that into the comments down there. So
yeah, yeah. We
everybody,
funded in 2 hours. We double funded in 12 hours, and we're 4 days in, and we're almost triple. We're like $65 short of tripling the fund. So, which is good because it'll help pay for some of the issues I've been buying ahead of time. And I pay for pretty much I pay my artist for a full issue every month. So, um, yeah, so these kickstarters hopefully will start getting higher so I could pay my artists more, get some of that debt paid off. But I took a huge risk making these. I love them though. They're so addicting, and as long as I don't lose my house, I'm just gonna keep making them whether people are reading them or not. I love reading my comics. I love seeing new pages. He sent me 5 new sketch pages today for 12, and I was like, these look so good, and I can't show them off because it's like 4 issues in the future. So only me, Lori, and my co-writer get to look at them, but it's like, oh yeah, okay.
And talking about Lori, I mean, Lori's a big help to a lot of people now, right? Like she's helping you out, but she's also helping William out with Psycho Sal as well as part of
Yeah,
Charter Comics. So, I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, you've grown a lot over the last year and a half to almost 2 years, where now you're part of Charter, right? And so it's like,
I've actually only been doing this for 1 year. So 1 year, 2 months. So I started this past October was my 1 year. So it's about 1 year. She's been doing it for 2 years.
2 years. Okay, Lori.
But yeah, I'm part of Charter. They're awesome, and I only joined it because she was there, so I trust her, and they were really nice to talk to. But she's my script consultant, which she's amazing at. And I know I'm getting a better writer because I used to get 2 pages of notes back, and now I get like 4 little notes. So I'm like, I'm getting better. But she also does the titles for all of my issues now, and she does an amazing job because she matches the color to it, and so yeah, she's doing amazing at that. So, and of course she has her kick-ass comic Path of the Pale Rider, and she's doing a trade for that next, which is going to be awesome.
I can't wait for that one because it's
doing get in line.
Exactly.
I talked her into hardcovers, so she said she's going to, so I hope she does. She wanted to do soft covers, like, don't do it.
Yeah, well, especially like when you guys do things like this, right?
Isn't that cool?
The little crossovers, between the Pale Rider and you guys. So it's like,
yeah,
I love seeing stuff like this. I mean, come on, it's a zombie bear, and then you got Anubis.
Yeah, I love that one. We really just wanted to see a jealous Draven. That's pretty much what we wanted. That was the whole point. We talked about it for months when we were like, "Oh, we gotta have him jealous for Jude trying to kiss Seraphina's hand." And at the last minute, I asked I thought he was gonna kill me. At the last minute, I asked my artist, "Can you draw in the zombie bear and Anubis?" And he's like, yeah. He goes, I thought this was going to be boring, and now I can't wait to draw it. I was like, I don't give you anything boring. Shut up. But he's been really loving 12 because, not that I should talk about 12, but there's a lot of Anubis in there, and there's a lot of fighting, and his hellhounds fighting and everything. So it's 40 pages. So he's been enjoying writing that one. And I think I have, pretty much I have 100 plus issues written for this series. 45 issues is written for series 1. So if it's not popular or I'm gonna lose my house, I could stop at issue 45. And if I don't put in the epilogue, you don't read it, it's a happy ending. Everyone's not happy, but a good ending. But if you read the epilogue or it's popular, then you'll see the epilogue that leads into series 2, and then series 2 I have 45 issues already written, and we just started book 1 of series 3. We're about to finish that one. So then of course there's a book for the prequel. So if it's popular, it's never ending. If it's not, well, I'll probably still make them. So.
But think about it. I mean, you said you've been doing this for a little over a year, and you're on issue 8 already. And that's something to be proud of, because there are people, and even in the bigger industries, who haven't been able to do that, right? So
yeah, they made fun of me on his show. I think I was with Rob Mortari, which is awesome. If you don't know him, he does Nightwolf. And they went to him and they said, "Oh, what issue are you on?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm on issue 7." And they're like, "Oh, how long did it take you?" And he goes, "I think it's been about 4 years." And that was great. And they're like, "That's so impressive for indie." And then they came to me, and I think at that point I had been doing it for 4 months, 5 months. And they're like, "Oh, what are you on?" I was like, issue 5. And they're like, "How long have you been doing this?" It's like 5 months. And they're like, "What are you, crazy?" So yeah, I guess I've been going a little fast. It's not my fault. My artist is just a machine. He just loves it, and he sketches it, and especially now, I hired a colorist, Matt Chambers, for issue 8.
I know Matt.
Yeah, Matt's amazing. And then I hired SK to do lettering, who was amazing. So now my artist goes even faster because now he just sketches and inks and he loves it. He's having a ball. I mean, he hated lettering because I guess the way his computer's set up, but the way he does it, he has to stand when he did it, so he would do it at night. So he's pretty much working all day doing, my issues. And nobody yell at me. I told him to take time off because we're like 4 issues ahead, and he's like, I can't go that long without drawing it. I was like, all right. I think he took a week off for Christmas, and he came back. He's like, I was missing this. I couldn't wait to get back to draw it. So yeah, so far so good in that. And like I said, book 2 is almost done, and book 3, not supposed to have a favorite, but I say in every show, book 3 is my favorite. It's Resident Evil 2. It's the trapped in a zombie infested city, and you've got 2 other survivors. So I get to have the jealous Draven, with the other guy there, and we have a zombie zoo, and we have between me and you, it's slightly a secret, but we have a cameo from Big James show up at the end of issue 14, I think it is. And I didn't think she let me, and it was her idea. She's like, if you have a zoo, you got to have Big James there. And I was like, yeah, I mean, we have polar bears, but he'll just come through and kill them all. So he's there at the end. And then we did a little cameo of him, which is pretty cool. And those that know him will appreciate it. And those who don't get to see a zombie bear. So it's win-win for everybody. So, yeah.
Well, we need to see Seraphim and Draven over in Path of the Pale Rider then.
Yes, we are actually. I haven't written it yet. I'm working on something with Anubis, but I'm going to be doing a mini series crossover where they use the angelic weapon to jump into different indie comics. Path of the Pale Rider is the first one. Rob Mortari is another one with Nightwolf, and there's 3 or 4 other people that were interested. I know Machine Kelly is going to at least appear in the background or join them or do something. So yeah, it's kind of going to be like the Kingdom Hearts of indie comics, because I love crossovers. I don't like when you have to buy like 1,000 different ones, but hold on one second. Oh, well, so much for that. I told you my husband's cousin's coming from Ohio, but his thing just got canceled. Yeah. So he's like, can he come Sunday through Wednesday? Yeah, that's fine. My thing's on mute, but he's the friends, favorites. So his thing comes through. So I didn't mean to interrupt that, but I wanted to answer.
Oh, no, you're good.
I feel bad because we were just talking about, him coming and everything, but he's in Ohio. So like they get snow and, all that fun stuff. We're supposed to get snow in Tennessee on Tuesday, but it keeps like getting better and then worse. And then I'm like, do I need the day off? Or then 1 minute I don't need the day off, and the next minute I should take the day off. So I'm not doing anything till like the morning of, and then I'll tell my clients I can't come or I can come. I don't know.
That's how it is here in Texas. Like we're supposed to get hit Sunday, and then Sunday and Monday with ice and snow.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of waiting because Texas isn't really set up for that compared to like Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio. It's like, we're going to see a bunch of people like doing circles on the road.
Well, I mean, I came from New York, so it was a lot different there. I mean, we would have a flurry is 6 inches, and here in Tennessee, they talk about the blizzard of 93 with 6 inches. So
I lived in Kentucky when that happened. I remember that.
I mean, it's like the tale of winter. It's like I've been hearing this every winter since I've been here 10 years. And yeah, I've been hearing it nonstop. I think it's hysterical. But we still go out where you could see nobody's out on the road, but on the road. But I think last time, I don't know what it was, 3 years ago, we actually had ice on our road, so we couldn't leave for 3 days because they didn't have a truck. And then I kid you not, the day after it all melted, the salt truck came through. My husband's yelling out the window, "It's already melted!" So it's like really funny.
Well, that's what happened to us in 1994. So we had the ice storm of '94 in Kentucky, right? And so where I lived at, we were in the middle of nowhere. Like my closest neighbor was like 2 miles away from me. So we lived on this old country road. Well, the ice storm comes through, freezes everything, breaks the power lines and everything. Oof. Nobody can come in to fix anything because the roads are frozen. and we're all picking up limbs and stuff that's been frozen or broken. And I'm like, this is one of those bad situations. Like I think about like in retrospect, like with The Walking Dead, or like
Yep.
there's a lot of people who can't survive that, right? Like
Yeah.
there's like
Well,
there'd be a lot of dead people because they're like,
yeah.
what do I do?
I remember, so in Connecticut, I mean, we would have snow for 6 months out of the year, and you don't think twice about it. However, there was on Halloween, we had 4 feet of snow, and that's never happened before. So I was actually house sitting at the time, and I was trapped at their house with no electricity, no food. I couldn't get my car out of the driveway. And my dad was trying to pick me up, but he couldn't get to me. And they hired a plow, but the plow couldn't get to me. So I was there for over a week with like no electricity, and I have to go to my car to charge my phone because there's no other way to do it. We didn't have any heat, so we would, like, me and the 2 dogs would like hang like underneath like the blankets, like a tent, because we were freezing. It was awful. People didn't have power for over a week. People couldn't get to them, and you'd see signs saying no power and we have kids. It was just awful. And then the exact next Halloween, we had a hurricane. So I think that was Hurricane Sandy. So the same thing happened on Halloween. And let me tell you, this is the stupidest thing to feel bad about, but this is what I felt bad about. There was this, I don't even know who they are, but they were down the road from where I was when I worked or whatever. Or I passed them when I pet sat or whatever. They would do this huge maze for Halloween, like huge, and they would count down the days. So of course for Halloween, the snow, it got totally destroyed. Totally destroyed. They couldn't do it. And then they tried again, and then the following year, the Hurricane Sandy came through and destroyed it all on Halloween. I don't know if they ever did it again, but I felt so bad for them because they used to be so excited about it, and they would count down the days, and they had a whole maze in their backyard. I had never been to it, but man, it looked like they had a grand old time. But two Halloweens in a row was terrifying. 2 record-breaking Halloweens. We've never had that much snow, especially that early, and we'd never had a hurricane before, really, like that. So it was crazy.
Well, it's like this last year. I mean, we were still in the 90s during Halloween.
Really?
And it's like, I'm just, at that point, you're like, I just want some rain or like something to cool off, at one point. Because we go through stages like that from like June to like September, maybe October. It's just hot, so 6 months almost of the year. It's hot here.
I do miss the fall in Connecticut and New York. They had an amazing fall. It'd be 70 degrees. You wouldn't need a jacket. You could go around with short sleeves. We have that for like a week in Tennessee. It's either too hot or too cold. And for 1 week, you have that perfect weather, but you weren't paying attention to the weather, and you don't realize it till the last day when you're like, oh, I could have been in short sleeves this whole time. And then, I do miss the fall. That's all I miss. I don't miss the snow. I don't miss any of that. I mean, in Connecticut and New York, we didn't even have an AC. I mean, there'd be like 3 days a year that's too hot to sleep. Other than that, you put a fan in the window and you're good to go. You can't do that here. Everyone has central air. You don't have a choice. So,
yeah, see, I didn't have it when I grew up, and I'm still trying to figure this one out. Like when I was a kid, like we had box fans in Kentucky. It'd be 100 degrees, 100% humidity, and then I slept upstairs. I was in the upstairs area, and I'm like, man, it's just hot up here. And like I'm sitting next to the window, like dying, and I'm like, but then you get adjusted to it, right? You acclimate to it, and it's like, I couldn't do that now. I'm too spoiled now, and it's like I love having air conditioning when it's 100 degrees because we get to like 110, 115 here.
Yeah. We on average it's 90s, but we've gone up. I think our highest is 110. I don't think we've ever gone over. I could be wrong, but I don't remember ever being over 110. But in Connecticut, I think I was dating somebody who lived with me at the time, and they brought an AC unit. And once you have one and you turn it on, you can never turn it off. Like you could survive without one, but once you have one, it never goes off.
No.
Yeah.
You never turn, and it's like ours. Like you watch your electric bill just skyrocket.
Oh yeah.
You're like, you can't. Ours stays on from June through September, and it's like
I think it was like $400 a month to do in Connecticut.
Yep.
Yeah, it was pretty high.
And that's
Yeah.
how it is here. And it's like, you know what? I'll pay that versus dying in the heat.
Yeah. Are you in the part of Texas that had the winter that they didn't expect? Like everything was you
I
had you
yeah,
were there?
I live in the DFW area. I didn't live here when that happened, but that's
Uh,
what everybody's worried about right now. They're
yeah,
afraid it's
well,
going
a
to
lot of
happen
people
again.
died because they were running their cars to get heat in the garage. They were
Correct.
cooking barbecues in the house. I mean, it
Yep.
was awful. I was just that must have been awful.
Well, I mean, you got to be prepared just in case, you know. But
Yeah,
like,
but I don't think they've ever had that ever, right? Like that.
yeah, they about 3 years ago they had a huge ice storm come through and and froze and broke a lot of pipes and stuff. Insurance was
Mhm.
so expensive here because there were so many issues, like so many houses that were destroyed because of water damage alone. And we're talking it's still like 10 below. So people are
Wow.
freezing and are in hotels, trying to get stuff. Hotels are being full, and so nobody has nowhere to go. And it's like, you know, we're not really made for that here in Texas. We're made for heat.
Yeah.
We're made for some cold, during the wintertime, maybe we'll get a dusting of snow, if it's cold enough or the right temperature to get it. But that we're about to get it where it's gonna be like 8 degrees
Oof.
with a wind chill of like 20 to 30. So
Wow.
it's like, I'm not looking forward to that.
We had 3 years ago, I think we had 9 degrees here for like 3 weeks in January, I think. And I run a mobile pet grooming service, so our pipes in the van froze. We had heats, but they died in the middle of the winter, and or
Mm,
they died in the middle of the night or something, and or they short circuit something happened to them. So we woke up and there was pipes burst inside the van. It was awful, but it was super cold for like 1 week, and like no one knew how to handle it. Like, no one knew what
mm-mm.
to do. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to that again. I don't really like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
we definitely don't want it here. I mean, that's why we got prepared just in case. You just don't know. But I'm like, I know what to do because I lived through it, and when I was a kid, and it's like, I remember like going down and getting water from a pond and
Mhm.
in a stream,
Really?
yeah, and then bringing it back up, and then having wood heat, because we didn't have power for a week and a half, almost.
Wow.
You
Wow.
know, there
I
is
completely
something to be
didn't have
said about living in a city versus living in the middle of nowhere, right? And there's a
yeah.
reason for that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have kids. Like we have 5 kids, right? So like,
Oh wow.
it's like I
Yeah.
can't be taking those kind of chances. In case something happens, I need to get to a hospital. You
I
know,
can't even handle my 5 pets. I don't know how you do that.
a lot of Jack Daniels.
Yeah. Well, we always want to get a generator, but with we have two grooming vans, so we actually always have a generator. Like we could cook in there or something. So we've never gotten one, but I think the longest we went without electricity was I think 3 days here, and that was only once. Normally it's like a day, something like that.
Mm.
We didn't have internet for a week, and that almost killed us. So that just goes to tell you. But we are in the valley, and when we first moved here 10 years ago, you could not, well, I guess it's 8 years ago, you could not use your phone without our black box. We had one of the boosters
Mm.
that would cost us like 250. But if the power goes out, the booster goes out, so you couldn't use your phone. So we didn't figure out until last year. Hey pops, we couldn't figure it out till last year when our internet went out for a week that we actually could use our phone now. So we got lucky because I used to not be able to send out a text. That's how bad it was with no internet. Like we could not do it. Now we could do it. So I'm a lot happier now. But man, if I couldn't do that, I couldn't work. I couldn't, do anything. So
And that's the same for me. Like I work through my laptop at work all day long, like 12 hours a day, right? And so if I
yeah.
don't have a VPN or I don't have a connection, I can't get to my work job. So it's like,
Yeah.
and I drive to work 3 days out of the week, but that's an hour drive each way. So,
Wow. I've
if
done that for 14 years. I did 45 minutes one way for 14 years, and it was a lot.
and you get
Especially in
tired.
Connecticut, the winter. Yeah. Yeah.
And
So,
like for us, the way we do it is like, I drop off my kids at school in the morning. I go to work. I leave work, come pick them back up, and then I go back to work at home, for a
wow.
couple of more hours. So it's like, it's always busy, but at least I appreciate like my work being flexible, right? Like, I might not always get that lucky where in a position that I'm in.
Yeah.
And
I was
I do engineering for IT and security. So it's not like I'm doing, hard labor, right? You know, I
mentally
work
hard,
on,
maybe.
I mean, mentally I'm stressed out, but that's
Yeah.
about it.
Well, sometimes that's worse. I mean, when you're tired, you could sleep, but when you're mentally tired, man, that's sometimes you can't even fall asleep. That's how bad it is.
Yeah, 'cause you're worried about this and you're worried about that, and it's like, what it took me about maybe 10 years after being in the military to segregate my mind thinking from this is my job, right, to this is
Yeah.
what my personal life is.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
have that. Well, I do because I run my own business, so I answer clients anytime. And then I have my comic book, so I'm scripting all the time. Like I took 12 days off for my other business for Christmas, and usually it actually feels like you have, but I wrote this whole time, which I love. I love writing, don't get me wrong, but it went a lot faster when you're doing something, you know. I think I did like 4 or 5 scripts or something while I was during those 12 weeks, which I absolutely love. So here's the thing: if I take time off from doing scripts, I have the whole story written and they're cut off in issues, but I still have to convert the issues to
yeah.
to a script. If I stop for like too long, it's hard to get back into it. But once I get back into it, it's fine. I get in a groove and I do it. But when I take too much of a break from it, I'm like, oh, I'll get to it and I'll get to it. And I'm so far ahead, it doesn't matter. I mean, I have 20 scripts written. Um, but I know book 4 and 5 are going to be really hard to do because they're like 15 issues each. So I have to see what we do there. But I'm almost done with book 3, so I have 2 more issues in book 3 to script. And I started today, issue 21, and I'm like, I think 8 pages in. So once you get in the groove, you're usually pretty good. And the way I write, it converts really easily to scripts.
Mhm.
Because I don't write the correct novelist kind of way. Someone asked me in a show yesterday. They were like, "Oh, how come you don't do novels?" And I was like, "Because I don't write that well." like I could write dialogue really well because I write it the way people talk, not the way like my editor keeps trying to correct it and go, "No, people don't talk like that. Like people don't say proper things, and no one talks like that." So my dialogue is really done. Is really well. But when it comes to writing, I think I'm amazing. I think I'm a great storyteller. But I'm not a great writer. I don't do the whole show don't tell thing. And I know I could because I tried for like one day and it hurt my brain. I was like, well, I could do it, but I don't fortunately have to. But yeah, I do the whole just writing what I want and what they're doing and everything. And it pretty much directly converts to script. So it's like it was meant to be a comic book. I just didn't know it when I was writing it.
Mm.
So I got really lucky there. So I
And
appreciate how easy it is.
and do you find it harder to convert it to the comic versus like say if you were writing it to a novel?
When I write my novels, it's a lot faster, a lot easier because I don't have to think. I literally sit down, I write 6,000 words, and then I'm done for the day. But when I'm scripting, I have to go through all of Serafina's stuff, which is mine, and then all of Draven's stuff, and then combine them.
Mm.
So I have to, piece out all the dialogue and put them together. I have to piece out thoughts and see if I'm going to use them or what I'm not going to use. So pretty much with Draven's side, it's really just thoughts and speech, because I
Mm.
write the chapter. So it's not the worst, but sometimes it gets a little bit like, oh, I forgot to go check what he said during this time. I got to go find that. So it's a little back and forth kind of thing, but it's not hard. So when I wrote the books and when we wrote the story, Anubis wasn't in it. So I added them to the scripts because in our issue 2 we had another character that's licensed that we couldn't use. So I was like, oh, what character would go good here instead? And it was Anubis fit perfectly. And I was like, oh, I could do that. But I loved seeing him on the page so much that I was like, oh, I'll just add him in. And he fits so perfectly in the story. And in book 4 and 5, he becomes a main character now.
Mhm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes, and it's and having it drawn out. I'm so excited. And in book 3, he's in it a lot more. He's like in issue 12, he's like in 6 or 7 pages, which is great because usually he's like 1 and 2, just so he's like stalking her or whatever. But in book 3, I'm writing and he's doing all this stuff, and we have the Hellhound with them, and you guys haven't found him yet, but Chatty's with him. Our chameleon, chameleon vampire bat. He starts in book 10 and then he stays, which drives my artist crazy because he has to remember the little fangs on him, and I was like, gotta add the fangs. So my artist, I love him, but he's got the worst memory in the world. So we have to be very careful and go back and be like, does she have her hat on? Does she have her knife to the side? Or it's one of the reasons why they don't like. So in book 2, what episode? So issue 10, is it 10? I think issue 10, she gets a nurse outfit. She switches into a nurse outfit, and obviously the guys love her in the nurse outfit. However, I got made fun of, and they're like, come on, why is she in a nurse outfit? I was like, well, it wasn't intentional, and it wasn't in the books. What happened was she gets hurt in issue 8, and it was pulling teeth to remind my artist to have that wound there, like he had to keep going back and putting the wound in her arm. So I was like, I have to get rid of this wound somehow. She has to change into something. So I'm like, all right, she's going to change her shirt. Fine. What color shirt is she going to wear? And I'm thinking she can't wear the same one because, like, what are the odds that she finds a green shirt? So I'm like, well, red doesn't really fit her. And I was like, can't I have black? Because he's got black. I don't know, red's weird. Like, I kept going through all the colors. And then I was like, what would she find in a mental institution? And I was like, well, the ghost in issue 8 had a nurse outfit. So she finds a nurse outfit in the medical room and she puts it on. I was like, well, now she can't change because she's in this place for, the next 5 issues. So she has a nurse outfit, and it has a perfectly logical reason why. But it's fun to see her in the nurse outfit, and they have a little joke about it where he's like, okay, I understand the nurse outfit. Why are you wearing the hat? And she's like, it completes the outfit. So she wears this hat, and it just became this joke of her having this hat. And there's even one point where I think it's issue 11. She falls, they fall, and so she doesn't have the hat, and then Chatty, the vampire bat, has to go find the hat for her and bring it to her. So so he's fun, the chameleon bat, but to figure out where he's gonna be or what he's doing. Like at one point she's getting attacked by the zombie, so I had him he can't do anything, but he's trying to pull the zombie off of her, so he's got the shirt in his mouth and he's trying to pull it. So I really like that Chatty's there, and I wanted a baby dragon, but my co-writer wouldn't let me. So I know, telling you, I was all for it. But now I'm going to add it to probably book 4 or 5, not as a pet, but it'll be there so I can have it on the island. They are in briefly book 1 of book hold on, I know this, book 11. I think it's book 11. So in book 11, they're in a magical library, and like the dragons come out of the book. So I was like, I had a blast right in that one. I was like, I had all the elements, but then I had to go do all the research on which element beats the other element, so I can kill each one off in a certain way, and then all this, which color matches what, and finding the rules. And I had no idea. Like nothing beats. I think it was it wind? The only thing that I can get for find was wind. Well, if you I think it was electricity, or I don't remember. There's all these rules, so I had to keep going back and forth and seeing which is the weakness for electricity, which one could go through, and all this stuff. So that was a lot of work. I got to follow the rules, man. There's rules. You have to follow them. So
hey, and you know what? If you say all those together, you'll get Captain Planet.
Yeah, that's right. I used to love that show. But yeah.
I remember I used to watch that every time it would come on. I was like, oh yeah. Then they had the evil Captain Planet.
Yeah, well, we had the best cartoons. They don't have those anymore. I mean, we had Saturday morning was Super Friends and Smurfs and Gummy Bears and all that cool stuff. But Thundercats, we had Thundercats back then, and I had Robotech, and oh man, what did we else we have? There were so many good He-Man, of course. Transformers.
G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah, G.I. Joe. And now you know, and knowing is half the battle. You learned so much.
we would learn from these, right? Like they would
Right?
have a lesson in the show, be
But you
like,
wouldn't know it. You didn't know you were learning. They got you. They got you.
exactly.
But it was worth it. Now they either teach you the wrong thing or they don't teach you anything. There's nothing. There's nothing good.
It's just senseless, and it's
Oh, and the
like
art is so bad. Like just so awful. I miss all the old shows, but what are you gonna do? I still watch as much as I can. Every time
I
I
do.
find a way to buy it or something, I'm like, oh look, Super Friends. So
It's like we have the same thing. Like, I buy them all in DVDs and have my kids watch them. You know, like, hey, that's Turtles. You're gonna watch Turtles today. Like,
oh, the Turtles were awesome. I used to love that. And I remember because I was a little bit older at that point, but they took away Michelangelo's nunchucks because kids were
mhm.
trying to replicate them and whatever. We had lawn darts. We didn't kill ourselves, but whatever.
No, exactly. We used to throw. I mean, we used to throw those hard too, and you're like, you just say,
Oh yeah.
don't
I
move your
mean,
foot.
man, we used to go. I think we used to ride our bikes everywhere. And my mom had the dumbest rules. I was allowed to ride my bike like I don't know what it was, but it had to be at least 3 miles from the house, right? And I I was allowed to get to the end of this block. Now we're in New York. We're near Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. I can get to the parking lot of McDonald's, but I could not. And you got to keep in mind, I've been on a road now for like 3 miles. I could not cross the parking lot driveway to get to McDonald's because it was too dangerous. But my brother, who was 3 years older, would literally go into McDonald's, sit on the other side, and eat fries in front of me because I couldn't go. Um, so yeah, that was my loving brother. But I will say he got hit by a car once, and it was a hit and run. He dragged his bike. His friends left him. That was really nice.
Oh,
Dragged his bike 3 miles home. Um, and yeah, and then he got hit in front of the house on a bike too. So at least that guy stopped and bought him a new bike. But yeah, that was New York, man. And I just told this story the other day, like 2 days ago. I almost got kidnapped because I was 4 and I was 2 houses down. I think I was 2 houses down or the third house down, something like that. And I was playing in the front yard with a girl that was 3 years older than me, my brother's friend. And we're playing in the front. And I don't know if this is the car, but I pictured it as a Buick. Like that's how I would picture it now. I don't know what it was. So the guy pulled alongside the passenger side and he opens the door, from inside, the passenger side. And he goes, "Oh, you want candy?" and all that. I was like, "Yeah, I want candy." So I climb into the car, but I could not reach the door to shut it because there's a big Buick door, it's like,
yeah.
so I had to jump out and grab the door to shut it. And my friend said, "We have ice cream upstairs and I like ice cream way more than candy." So I was like, "Okay." So I like slammed the door and he like drove off. And we were going inside, and the father's like, "You got to go tell your mom that happened." I was like, "Okay." I don't know what the hell's going on. So I walked back. My mom still does not believe me. I walked back to 4 houses. I remember my mom being in a lawn chair. This is 41 years ago. My mom was laying in a lawn chair in the backyard, and I go up to her and go, "I got in some guy's car because I wanted candy." And she's like, "Okay, whatever." And I was like, "Okay." And I went back out. I was like, to this day, she does not believe me. So yeah.
Well,
But
we
yeah,
didn't think
so
about things like that back then, right? Like it was innocent back then,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Anything. We used to walk like it felt like 2 miles, but I'm gonna guess it was a quarter of a mile. It was quarter of a mile or half a mile to school when I was
mm,
4 to 6. And I remember that we walked through. There was I don't know how big a baseball field usually is, but it was at least a couple of blocks. It was a 10-foot chain link fence on one side and a 10-foot fence, like wooden plank fence on the other side. And you walk through this alleyway between the two things for like a quarter of a mile where you can't go anywhere and it's a curve. You don't know what's there. We don't think anything of it. You walk
nah.
to school, you walk home. Yeah, yeah. We could have been killed 1,000 times. We were latchkey kids, So yeah, that's why we're the Gen Xers. They said don't mess with the Generation X. So yeah.
Well, we're the
Yeah.
last generation before the internet, right? So it's
Yep,
like,
exactly. I mean, man, I think my newest. I do remember we had a car phone at the very edge of my teenageism because my mom put it in a car. And she said, "Never, ever, ever use it." It was like $20 a minute to use this thing. She's like,
ooh,
"Yeah." And she's like, "Don't use it unless you crash the car. And it doesn't come out of the car. It stays in the car." And and everything. And she's like, if you're in a ditch, you can use. We never use that phone. But if you had Atari, or is it Coleco? I think it's Coleco. Where do you remember? There was like a little controller with these big white buttons that go through. And so that's how, Coleco. So that's how the numbers looked, like these big white numbers on the back of the phone and all that. So we never once used that phone. But I remember having that. I remember getting pay phones because the damn beeper was invented. So your mom had paid you, and I think I was like, it came out when I was like, I don't know, 19, 20 or something. And my mom's like, you get paid, you got to stop. So you have to stop and find a payphone. So like calling mom home, and you're like, what? So I hated that. I hated beepers, man. They were the worst, absolute worst. And now I got this damn thing that I follow around with me wherever I go.
And it's funny because, like, when I was a kid, we didn't even have pagers. Like, literally, we had a landline, with a 8,000-foot long cable.
Oh yeah, the one that tangles and
yep.
We had that. The landline, and you try to get as far into the T so you can see the TV while you're on the phone. Yep. We were talking about, I had I was doing a live stream just for the hell of it on Monday, and I had some youngins on, that were like 10, 15 years younger than me. They're like, oh, did you have a VCR? And I was like, I had a VCR with the remote control that's attached to the VCR, and it would like go in the middle of the screen. So if you want the remote, you have to watch that, and you see this damn wire go through. So yeah, I remember all that stuff.
And I still have that stuff. Like I have a VCR. I have a Laserdisc player still.
I had a Laserdisc for one anime. I was obsessed with Fashuga Yugi, and I had bootlegs on it. And I bought a Laserdisc player just for these giant size records. And I don't even know what happened. I must have given it away or something. But when it came, I remember when the DVD was invented, and before it was out, we were at a science fair at the Big E in, I think that's Massachusetts. And they had this little disc, and they said, this is the new thing coming out. And I was like, that's stupid. We have, VHS and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, but on this, when you watch your anime, you can watch it in Japanese and English. And I was like, oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason I switched to DVDs. I did not want to, but I was like, well, if I can watch English version and Japanese version, this is awesome. And yeah, so here I am.
I still buy Laserdisc because mine still works, so so I'll bring them out. Like, all of my stuff is all anime, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, mine was anime.
Mine was my Cross, Evangelion, and then I have like the Crow and some horror stuff on it, but it's like, I test them out, go put it in, make sure it works, then you get one of those bad discs, like where the glue's starting to come undone on the sides. You're like, yeah, you're going to last for maybe another year or two.
Yeah, my husband's 8 years younger than me, and he talks like an old man. He's like, cassettes are so much better than CDs. And I was like, okay, I'm older than you, and I think CDs are better. I mean, I used to scratch them up to all heaven, but I didn't need a pencil to rewind it, or if it like came out or something. But yeah, he's like, nope, cassettes are better. And I was like, I think I made him get rid of his VCR, or I think he had VCR tapes. I have somewhere VCR tapes of Saturday morning cartoons that I recorded.
You can find those.
Yeah, I gotta go find those, man. I mean, we talked about this on the stream the other day. I don't know where they are, but I know I have them. I have the Pokemons from the 90s when they first came out because I thought they were cool. So I looked them up like not even a year ago, and I said, oh, they're not worth anything, because I didn't think that there was years. I was just like, oh, it's Pikachu, it's not worth anything. But I didn't think of looking up that it was from the 90s. So I don't know what's in there. I just I know I have them because I have all the Pokemons from the 90s, and I have all of the Ghost Rider cards from the 90s, and I had the Three Musketeers from Disney for some reason from the 90s. So yeah, I have that book somewhere, and it drove me crazy because I'm like, I know I saw it. I don't know where the hell it is. I just know it's here. So I'm gonna have to find that. So I think I had Crow. Did the Crow have trading cards? I had the movie. I had the movie Crow animated the movie card trading cards. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite. I had the trade paperback from 1993, and I just had James O'Barr sign it. So I was so thrilled. He took my issue 1, which I was thrilled.
Let me get something for you then, if you like that. Now this is very old.
Wow. That's awesome.
This is an old. I don't know if you remember graffiti designs from the
Yep.
90s. So
Look at that. That's so cool.
that's the card, and
I love
then
that. Yeah, mine doesn't look like this. That's awesome.
so let's see. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's
There
gorgeous.
it's signed.
Yeah, I just met him for the first time, and I said, I've held on to this graphic novel for 30 years. And he goes, "Well, I'm so glad I didn't die on you." I was like, "Well, me too."
Me
So,
too. Because
yeah.
I mean, I told him like, dude, next time I see you, because I've talked to him several times, like, dude, you got to sign this one for me next time.
Now I need him to sign. So I'm having everyone sign my hardcover. Like I had the Supernatural cast sign it. I had people from I had Michael and Tom from Smallville sign it. So I'm like having all these people sign it. So now he needs to sign my hardcover. He did take my issue 1. I doubt he'll ever read it, but I'd like to give him a hardcover. So I need to find him. I want him to do a cover for me, but nobody's ever written me back. And I forgot I was too starstruck to ask him in person. So I have not asked him yet, but I don't even care if it's a sketch. I just want, a cover for my I would love to have a cover for my story. So
He is one of the. It depends on what kind of mood he's in, right? Like I've been in the conventions with James,
yeah.
and he's like very like down to earth, and he'll talk to you. But then there's some times where it's like he's got a lot going on, and he don't have a whole lot of time, right?
Yeah.
And so he's just like signing and pushing people along, Which
I was the only one there. I'm surprised he went to this. It was such a tiny con, like super tiny. And there was nobody there. And I had a table there. So my husband was watching my table. There's no one in line. And then I was starstruck because I've never gotten autographs before. And so like he signs his books for free, which his agent did not look happy about. Because I had 2. I had the one from the 30 years ago, and then I had one I just bought for my co-writer so I could have something signed for her. So it was $20. Is it $20 or $40? No, it's $40 each for ones that weren't. So I had 2 issue 1s on me. So I handed him both of them, and he signed one. And then he goes, "Is this for me?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, yeah, keep that. So I don't know if he read it, but I get to have the fantasy of that he read it, and he, my character's name is Draven. So I can't tell if he was mad or happy about that. Like he completely had no emotional to that hearing his name was Draven. So I have no idea. So we'll see.
Fingers crossed. That'd be
yeah.
He just did a cover for Coffin last year.
Really?
So he's still doing things, just not as not like he was.
Well, he's going to be in Alabama, but Huntsville is huge.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably wouldn't have time to ask him to do a cover there or something. But I've written to his manager or his agent or whatever. I've written to the website. I've emailed everything. Nothing. No one's gotten back to me. I don't even care what the price is. Just do a damn sketch cover for me. Like I don't care. So.
Have you tried to like search him on Facebook?
Yeah, his name is under something else. It's David, I think. But I added him and he never added me back. I messaged him and he never even looked at it. So I don't know how active he is on there. I really wish I could figure it out because I just that would be my dream is to have a cover for him, because even when I first did my script, like when I said the infamous words, "How hard can it be to do a comic book?" and it's like the hardest thing in my life. When I went to go do script 1, I took out his graphic novel to have like next to me, like while I was writing. So yeah, he's a huge inspiration for me, and yeah, I'd love to do a cover, but I can't figure it out. So if you can help,
I'll see what I can do.
Help me contact him. Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. You know me, I talk to everybody.
Yeah. So like I said, I don't care if it's a sketch. I will print it. I don't care. I just want a cover. I don't even care what issue it is. Just do a cover. So yeah, let me know.
I sure will.
Awesome.
Right, so let's show everybody your current Kickstarter now, and so that way you can get an idea of what we're at. So here we go. We are at 2,935.
I
Out
know
of
it's so annoying. I'm like 65 away from $3,000. So it's like I'm ready to pay it myself. But yeah, I'm almost there.
and everybody needs to get this cover. I added that one on already.
Yeah, and I should have added more. So right now there's only 15 left, but I'll have to add more. I'll have to buy more. I did not realize that people would buy it. It's gorgeous. It's one of my favorite covers. I mean that's Jeremy. That I mean he did I hired him because he did the Resident Evil interior in the comic book, but I didn't know which one he was because it lists like 2 or 3 people as interior arts. So I'm like, please be the one I want. And it was. So I was like, oh, I'm so glad. He did my cover for the hardcover, the next hardcover too. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's gorgeous. He thought I was too busy, but everyone I talked to, like, no. So yeah.
Nice. All right, so we've got, here's the covers from 1 through 7. I love the jaw on this dude.
Me too.
Brains.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm waiting.
You know, it's funny because this is the first campaign I've had where the regular cover doesn't sell as much as the more expensive ones. I think I've sold like 4 or 5 of these covers, and the variants have sold like 5 to 10 or something. Like there's like a lot more. So I'm kind of curious how high it will go.
Book 2, Chapter 1. Yep, there's variant A. You know this is going to be a bad day.
I love that the zombie is chomping down on it. Like that's one of my favorite parts. And there it is, the infamous cover.
I had to have that cover because you showed it to. You showed me the black and white a while back. You know.
Yeah, and look, I got the medal in hand like 2 days ago, so I'm like, woohoo! So I love it.
Okay, here we go. Yep, added Matt and S.
The salamanders. That's Lori's favorite is the salamanders.
I like the salamander.
Oh, I do too. And our
Especially
giant
the tail.
plushie. I love our plushie with the tail. Yeah, I think the salamanders look awesome. Yeah, Matt does. His colors look like they're in HD. They just look so cool.
There we go. There he is.
Love Anubis. I love this one because he throws the axe at the demon.
Yeah, that's the thing is like, you know, as the story progresses through, you know, the different books, I think you're going to see a lot of differences, right? Like as far as the growth of the characters themselves. You know, and that's what I'm already noticing with like Draven and Seraphim, like even at, you know, 7, right? It isn't just about senseless violence. They're actually learning and growing.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's not gore for the sake of gore. It's
Correct.
It's part of the story, and yeah, that's the little wooden charm we got, which actually looks really cool. And I've never done this before, that if you spend 50 you get that, if you spend 100 you get the 2, which is actually the painted came out really nice.
And I highly recommend that everybody get the coin.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they have the coin. We have the coin as an add-on now, and then we have the painted coin, which is the you can only get it by spending 100 or more because there isn't that many of them.
Yeah, and
The coins are gorgeous though. I do love the coins. It's hard to resist.
And that's the kind of problem I have. Is like I try, you know, like somebody has a coin, I'm gonna buy it typically. And the coin might cost more than the actual book, right?
Yes, yeah, the coins, yeah, absolutely. I have a few more that I haven't gotten to yet because I have so much merch. It's hard to get the that's all my merch out there. But yeah. Oh, our plush. Oh yeah. So our Anubis plushie. This is our first commercially released plushie, and I could not resist. So they've been ordered. I had to order 100 of them. And we have 50 with the foam staff, which I like, but I don't love. Yeah. So this is him with his 3D staff, which is $10 more because I had to buy the staff. But his legs look so cool, and he's just phenomenal. He's got all embroidered face, and his chest is all embroidered. So he's awesome. I absolutely adore him. His whole back is there. He holds the staff really well, and I'm really grateful for everything here. I just realized how good he holds that. But yeah, so we have 50 with the foam staff, 40 with the regular staff, and 10 without either staff. And I'll tell you why there's 40 with the staff. Because they were going to charge me double per staff if I ordered 41 or more. And I said, why is it more? It should be less. Like, the price kept going down, and then it jumped up because, well, at that point I would need to order more material. I'm like, you're going to have to order more material anyway.
Exactly.
So I was like, fine, I'll take 40 of them because that makes the most sense. So hopefully that'll work out. And I made the staff him hold it. I hope it'll fit now, but I just realized I made his staff taller, so hopefully that still works out. But he's holding it really well there. Before he wasn't holding it as good, but now he's holding it awesome. So hopefully it works out, the ones I bought. So
I guess and the price is good too, though. I mean, you look at the price of it,
Yeah,
like
well, that's why I wanted it commercially made, because I love my handmade ones, but I don't get any profit on that. They're super expensive to make. So they're higher up and they do sell, and that's great. But I wanted something that everyone's like, I want a plushie, I just can't afford it. So I'm like, well, because I know I could sell these for higher. But the whole point was so that other people can afford them too. So hopefully that all works out. So
you should definitely sell those at a convention.
Oh yeah, they're coming with me for the Nashville Con for sure. Yeah. I love the way these look. And then this one's selling too. Our pre-made, zombie mental patient. The buckles work. I don't recommend taking them off and on. These are hand dyed, stained. And you can pick any date you want to be embroidered on the back. Like, this is my birthday, so I'm the mental patient. But if you have somebody's birthday that somebody drives you crazy, you can put their birthday on there, and then he can be your little mental patient. So yeah, that's how that works. So I love it.
Yeah, and you guys, I mean, this is $30 for that one, and then you got $39 with the 3D staff.
Yeah. And it comes with his own little sticker.
All right, PDF, black and white color. Let me stop here for a second. You're the only person I know that does both digital, black and white, and color, right? Like, there's a lot of people who only give you the colored version and that's it. So I will say I appreciate that you do both, because I'm a huge black and white guy, especially like Walking Dead, Eerie, all the old magazines, Vampirella. So I'm so used to black and white. So I was like, I really just want to say I appreciate that you do both of those.
Well, good. I'm glad. Yeah, and a lot of people don't let you buy issue 1 either. Like, a lot of people, you have to buy catch-up tiers or whatever. But yeah, you can't really do that. But I always offer that just in case somebody new is coming on.
There's chapter 1. There's 8. Okay. Yep, there's a Victor Medina.
Yeah, he did an amazing job.
Everybody needs to buy this one, though.
Yeah, they do.
That's a good one.
Yeah, a lot of people have bought that and add-ons. A couple people bought the metal one.
Say 1 to 8. One, 2, and 3.
Some mini.
And you still get buttons. I mean, like,
that's
I
have so many buttons.
You get extra buttons.
Yeah. I do love the buttons.
I do too. I have a whole bag of your stuff that I keep. I keep all of it in one bag. Especially this bookmark.
Yes, I ran out of those, I think. I haven't done a lot of prints. I should do more prints, but the trading cards. So I have metal trading cards now. Oh, that's the charm. I was just playing with it. Here it is. This is the. It's really shiny. Like you can't tell from the stupid picture, but it's pretty big. Stainless steel. I like it. Um, but I have a lot of metal trading cards, and the reason why I don't have any glossy trading cards or new ones, the price like tripled on regular
Mm,
trading cards. Now the metal cards are awesome,
yeah.
and they're worth the money. But it went from on Comic Wells Springs. It used to be you spend $25 and you spend $10 and you get 25 trading cards. Now you get 25 trading cards for $25.
So the dollar card.
Yeah, and I wrote to them and I said, "Is this for real? Like, did you really go up this high?" And he goes, "It does seem a little high. I'll check for you." But I never heard back from them. It's been 3 weeks. So, yeah, I don't know what happened there, but that's such a big hike. I mean, all their prices went up. You know, I mean, my comic went from 450 to 650 because I get the glossy, and I was getting expedited shipping, and it's just I don't get any profit from printing these. But yeah, I mean, I've never been said that mine's too expensive, but you hear all the time, why is indie $10 and Marvel's like $3.99? I was like, because Marvel, buys like a million of them, you know. Um,
Exactly. And
but
the other
I
thing
don't
too
get.
is they're made of crappy materials too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's-
And my comic book store, I do sell them to them once in a while, but I have to sell them pretty much at cost, so I don't make any money off of it. So I kind of stopped doing that a little bit because it was just I'm not making any money from this. I'm paying to print it and I'm giving it to them, and it's just they can't sell it for much higher because no one's going to want to buy it. It's funny how people know that in Kickstarters how they go, but in person they don't seem to understand that. Cons they do. Cons they sell them for $10 each,
yeah.
and I haven't had a problem. Sometimes they'll sell them like if you buy all three, it's 20. So you get it's like $7, like something like that. But I haven't had my hardcover at a con yet, so this will be the first year that I have the hardcover. And I just got told today from another creator, like, you're selling them too cheap. And I was like, well, there's a reason why I sold it so cheap. I know they usually sell for 55, and trust me, that's a lot of profit and it's great. However, I had to buy 500 of these, so I couldn't do soft cover, and I wanted everyone to be able to get it. So I sold it for the price that normally soft cover sells for, or like right in between. And I sold a bunch. And it's printed really beautifully, and I was really impressed. This is the first time I used the printer, and I had no idea what I was going to get into. There's probably more damage, but there was like 42 at least damaged, and I got a refund on that. But I mean, that you still lose profit. You get a refund on what you paid, but doesn't really help you.
Yeah.
But I've been
But
using that for like a giveaway, for like the stars. Every time somebody signs my book, like I gave Jared from Supernatural, who plays Sam, I gave him one of my hard copies. He's like, I can have this. It's like, please. So, yeah, that helps. But yeah, I
and
really love.
it is. I actually was going to tell you the same thing. It was too cheap
Yeah.
because
Oh yeah. I got told by so many people that this is too cheap. You're selling it too cheap. And I was like, I know, but I want people to be able to buy it. Especially today. And it has 7 issues. So technically it's about $70 worth for $40. So but I made pretty good money on the Kickstarter. I was not expecting so many people to buy it, so I was thrilled.
well, and that's the thing is like a lot. This right here is actually perfect, right, for like when you do, you know, catch ups, right? Because that's the one thing is like I love omnibuses. I love graphic novels.
Me too.
I will go to those every time. But the hard part though is like space, right? Like we only have so much space. And like even I look at my office, right? Like I've only got so much space for all my comics and all my graphic novels and everything. So what
Yeah.
happens is things get sold eventually, because
Yeah.
you've got to make more room for new stuff to come in.
Yeah.
But
Try
like,
storing. I think I sold 70 hardcovers. So I still have 9 huge boxes, an entire shelf there. So I still have 400 to sell. So it takes up quite a bit of room. So yeah, good times.
well, the good thing about that though is that they'll sell, right? Like that's the thing is you add it into as a add on for the Kickstarter,
I
and
did
then
that. I added it as a add-on. I added it as a tier. Um I had some people buy the it comes with issue 8, so people could buy both.
yep. So here we go, 39 for hardcover and PDF.
Where's my measuring tape? I have so much stuff here. It's unbelievable. Oh, I found my camera.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, I know that's here somewhere. I lost one of my, so I got little Lego figures. Well, I'll show you some of them. You've seen my Anubis Legos, but I have the little Draven, the Draven one.
Ah,
If you could see, he's got Anubis on his shirt and
I
Croc on his
see
shirt.
that.
I should have got it in black. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. And then that's her wearing the logo on her. And then I think it's still upstairs. I have one for Camiel with a little top hat. But oh, here it is. So yeah, I haven't put them up yet, but soon. And then while you've got me up here, I have the very large embroidered bookmark. This is Anubis on one side, and then Croc happily wagging his tail on the second side. So yeah,
I recommend that to everybody to get that because for the price that you're getting that for is almost like a add-on. Like it's literally like a benefit because the way it's made is made very nicely and it's professionally done. And it's everybody should have that one. Period. Dot.
yeah. And I think I only have 3 or 4 this time. So
Yeah, can't sell them all. You might need some in the future.
so there's a little Lego Anubis, which I bought. I wish I bought more. Like I bought them wholesale at first because they sell for like $50 online. But I didn't buy them, so I should have bought more because I had the chance to buy more, and I was like, I don't know if these are gonna sell, like an idiot. And now I wish I had them. However, the staff he holds is ours. So he has his own little 3D staff.
Nice.
Oh, his little head is like trying to fix his little head. But anyway, the point is, I have as soon as I opened it, I lost one of the Lego hands, so they're somewhere. It's like I can't win.
It's like I have the old crayons, right? And like trying to keep them together is like, especially with all the little weapons, good luck.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we have they do have little, she has guns. He has a baseball bat, I think. And oh, I have an extra hand. Yay. Yeah. So yeah. And that's the 3 covers for anyone that wants the 3 covers.
All right, then you got hardcover, issue 8, and buttons for $50. You're not charging enough. You should charge 60 for that.
I know. That's what everyone says.
We're here to make you money, right? All right, then you got 49. You got the Anubis staff.
That's my first with so I originally had those before, but I had them in the I can't get this damn hand off. I had them in the regular, like the plastic
Yeah.
filament. So I ran out of them, and the guy was not the greatest guy in the world printing them for me. So I had somebody else do it in resin, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love it. So yeah. Damn it. I can't get this guy's little hand off. Of course. The other one falls off as soon as I open everything. Oh yeah, that's this one. He's nearby. I should have grabbed the other one, but he's upstairs and I'm lazy. So but you can see he's got you can see his fur. So he's very cool. They're both 6 inches and they look great in resin. So I'd like to know why the hand falls off of the other ones, but this one I can't get the damn hand off. That's the ketchup tier.
And that's not a bad price either. So if you look at it, $80, right? That's $10 per issue.
Plus plus all the goodies.
And the thing is you never talk about shipping because everybody's shipping is going to be different, right? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, depends on where you're at in the States or where you ship to. Shipping is the shipping.
And it just went up again.
It did.
Yeah, and media mail just went up too. Bastards.
And we got
hold on. Yeah, that's our giant salamander. His tongue is huge.
That is good Lord.
Yeah, he's got like a weight in his belly here, so he can just sit there and all over, and he's super soft, and yeah, he's crazy. So yeah, that's our liquor, which is our homage to our
Resident Evil
liquors from Resident Evil 2. So good times. We have a lot of plushies this time.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like last time, we only had like one.
Yeah. This time, because these are all in this issue, so I had to get them. I had to put a whole bunch. That one is from book 3, but it just keeps selling out, so I keep buying it. So
skeleton.
Yeah, the skeleton birds.
Then
they're gonna be back on the island. They'll be back around book 4, so they're not for a while. And then our hellhound, yeah, he's adorable. He sold out last time too, so I picked a couple of ones up.
And there's your zombie plushie.
Oh, I'm hoping nobody buys that one because that's the only. So here's the thing: I bought 2 of them because I usually buy 2 to 3, to have for people to buy instantaneously. However, my mom saw me post it and she's like, "Oh, I gotta have it." And I was like, "Why would you want? You don't even read horror. Why would you want a zombie?" She's like, "It's so cute." And I was like, "Really?" So now there's only one available. But fortunately, no one's bought it yet. They're buying the pre-orders, so I've been selling the add-ons a lot. So that actually works out better for me because mine has the birthday on, and I don't want to sell it. But yeah, they have the pre-order. There's one pre-order, or you can pre-order as a tier, which is there, and or you can order as an add-on. I cannot get this hand on. No.
Okay, there's the metal cover.
Yep, I have to get that because one of my clients buys it every single time. So I made the mistake of showing her a shiny cover, and she's like, "I gotta have that
shiny object."
Yep, she's very ADD like me. So now I can't pick Steven's hair. Oh, that's the ultimate. Yeah,
everything.
I've had people do that. Like I've had new people go in add-ons and just buy every single thing. So I figure, well, I'll just have a tier in case they want to do it. But
all right, then the add-ons. Yep, there's so many.
Oh, there's so many add-ons. Yep, there we go. All right, got my little Legos. Yeah, it's amazing. So obviously she looks hot there. And I have that up on Globex, with no lettering. And it says right on there, no lettering. I kid you not. The last 5 weeks straight, it's gotten every single week 1.5 thousand views. There's no letters. They just want to look at her because her ass looks great there. But like, that's it. Like, no, that I don't know what it is. I thought about releasing a Kickstarter for it, but it's not my favorite art. Like he did a great job. This is another artist, but he was Brazilian and didn't follow the script as well, and and I didn't know it for 4 months after, when I can afford lettering, and the letter was like, it doesn't really fit what you said was going to happen. So it's a great story to read. I might print it just because I kind of want it printed, but I just haven't done it yet. So maybe I'll do it for the next one and just have it printed. But they look cool. Draven looks a little off. She's hot, but she wears that outfit through a cave. That's like it was supposed to be a joke that she's wearing a Halloween costume, and then she goes, through a cave with it. So I was like, probably wasn't too appropriate, but oh well.
I'll definitely buy it. You know me.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that, like Salvation.
Are you the reason why I put the original one out? Did you buy it? Did you buy that one?
It.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was you last time I was on. You're like, I'll buy it.
Yep.
I was like, okay. I think I have 5 left, but people keep buying them. So I didn't list it this time. I probably should have, but I didn't. But people are buying the PDF. So, but I might print that one, and I might print the Salvation spinoff one. It's in black and white, but it'll be cheaper to print. I'll just have a couple on hand.
Oh, you know me, I'll buy it. Even if I just buy it for me personally,
Yeah, I'll probably have it for the next one because I got to do another printing run. So I was going to do it this time, but I realized I never had my artist put it together as a real PDF with like a back cover and everything. So I'll have to do that as soon as he finishes 12. He's on a rush to finish 12. He likes the fighting scenes and all. He's so proud of himself because I love the fighting scenes. I did such a good job. Yes, you did, Jonas. You did a great job. So
and keep it going. Keep
it going. Yeah,
he does
so well. Oh yeah, that's the goodies. And I have a new coloring book that now I'm mad because I could have released it with this issue, and I could have had like a new coloring book for issue book 2, but I hadn't thought about it in time. So I might have it for the next Kickstarter because people seem to like the coloring books, which I did not know that was a thing until someone's like, why don't you do a coloring book?
There's a lot of people that do that. Like they'll take the pencils right from the coloring, and then they'll re-ink it, or they'll color it to see like the different version of how it would look.
Yeah. So I actually do have 2 versions. Actually, I have 3, but I have 2 to 3 versions of the Jeremy cover that you see. I do have one colored by CC Dela Cruz. But the problem was by the time she got it to me, I had already sent to the printers. So I might print some for the next issue and just be like, you can back order it. But if not, I'm going to put it on, it's going to be the back of the next hardcover. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll definitely buy it. I'm a sucker.
Well, I'll make sure to get one then.
Yeah, here we go, the hardcover. And I love how you put the Ken Hunt cover on the back of the hardcover.
Doesn't it look so good?
It does.
I love it.
There you go. Back variants are 10 to 20 each. And everybody, like I said, get this cover here, and then get both versions of this one from 7.
Yeah, the scratches, no scratches. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He did a new one for me, but it's not till book 3. Sorry.
Oh.
I know. I bought so many covers, so many colors. And I don't like to give like a ton of covers per each one. I do have Fabio's covers.
Yeah, Fabio
issue 8. Yeah, so issue 12 has 2 versions of the same cover of his. One, she's got her regular outfit on, and the other one, she has her nurse outfit on because when he was drawing it, I totally forgot she had a nurse outfit on. So he had already drawn it, which I have the original here, and I was like, damn it, I forgot. And he goes, I can draw it digitally. I was like, yes, I'll have two covers. So I will have both covers available for that one. It's gorgeous. Nice. But yeah, I have so many. My next issue, do you know who Caro Moline is? He's the interior artist for Buffy. He did my cover for issue 9. I don't know if you know Ivan Tao, but he did a cover for issue 10. He was super expensive. I don't think I'm gonna get my money back for that, but it's such a cool cover. But I don't think I can get my money back for that one because it was it was the highest I've ever spent, even though I got Jeremy's. His was the highest ink I ever did. But worth it, so worth it. And then issue 11 has Kevin Sharp, who's the interior artist for a lot, but I got him because he did the interior art for Army of Darkness. And then issue 12, I have I think I have 4 covers, issue 12. Yeah, because I have 2 from Fabio, and then I have 2 for 2 other people. So yeah.
Aw, there's a little zombie.
He's so cute. And then we have a new song. So yeah, so we have 2 songs now that you can have this 2 lyrics. The song, Lori sings it every time. So the first 30 seconds, I think, of the video is the new song instrumental. And there's a part of the song that it's called, he goes zombie zombie, and so Lori sings it every time it's playing because it's just, you could hear it once you know it's there. But yeah, so you can get an add-on. They're $3 each, or 2, or for both for $5. So
That's a good deal.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
I'm not going to spoil the lyrics for people. They go listen to the song.
I don't know. I kind of want to hear you sing it.
No, I don't sing unless I'm drunk and doing karaoke.
Touche.
Yeah. So here we go. Some
That's
back art from the
Yep.
inside.
I had a gift with everything, or however you say it, GIF, whatever. But I think it slowed down the page, so I just I took it off. And then I should probably, I have to put another stretch goal. I put 2,000, and now I actually have to make sure I have enough stickers. Actually, now that I should probably check on that, because I'm hoping this will be the most backers yet. I know I have those somewhere. It's a big, huge sticker too. Oh, I also have these. I might bring these out. It's such a cool vinyl. It's very weird vinyl. Like, it feels like plastic, but it's really cool. You can actually put these outside. I don't know at the last, it says it's indoor outdoor. So, but yeah. So I have that. And we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I gotta find those stickers now. They're somewhere. I have so much stuff. You would not believe. Well, you would believe it. But
I would believe it.
I don't know where anything is. You wouldn't believe that I get all my stuff out in a day or two, considering how my place is like a disaster right now.
Yeah, but you know, that's what we call organized chaos, right?
I definitely have organized chaos. Yeah, definitely. I just saw them, so they're somewhere. But I keep putting everything here, which is the dumbest place to put it. So for issue 10, I'm doing Ivan Tao's in metal because it's gorgeous. So I got these stickers in aluminum. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. So like I said, I'm probably not gonna get my money back for that, but it's a cool ass fucking cover. So
well, I mean, if you sell enough metal covers, that'll make it back.
Yeah, that might make them back.
Just got to raise the price on the metal cover.
Yeah, I gotta raise my price for everything. According to you, people are not gonna like you if you keep telling me to raise the prices. They'll be like, "Shut up."
I'm not here to. I'm here to make you money. I'm not here to make money for other people.
You know what? I just found them in the drawer. I was looking. They were just behind everything. I should probably count them today to make sure I don't have to order more. But see, it's a huge sticker. Yeah. So that should be that'll be good. But I got to count these and make sure I have enough.
Just say, and you get to that one, like, whoopsie. You get to number 76, 77.
Yeah, you know, it's going to be as long as supplies last, I guess you could say.
Put a caveat in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't even know if stretch goals help at all. But
I'll tell you, from my perspective, the more stretch goals you have can be good or bad, right? Like it's an enticement thing to like, hey, if I can get to this, you'll get this for free, right? But then at the same time, it's like, are you just trying to get to that that dollar amount, or are you actually giving us something quality wise as a stretch goal, right?
That's a good point.
It's like I want something that's going to be viable. And it's like, if I get, say, a coin, right? Like this is the stretch goal, a coin. And you're charging 15 for yours. But if this is the only stretch goal, right, and I get a coin out of it, I'm good with that, right? Because that's a coin.
Yeah.
You
I was
know,
going to do a coin, but I gave them away for the last one. So I'm like, I don't know. Can I do it again or two? So I do. I have so many of those coins because I bought them. I got them, wholesale. Um, but I was like, a lot of my fans have them already. So I don't know if I have. So I did the painted ones. I have silver ones that I'm probably going to do, but I don't own as many as I do the gold plated ones. I am taking them to the con, and whoever buys the hardcover will get the coin. So
well, you know me, I'll collect all the coins. Got to catch them
I
all.
have 5 different coins. So I don't have a lot like I do. I don't have a lot like I do with the other ones, but I think I have enough because well, it depends. I mean, I might have. Did Lori tell you the bet I have going with her? I didn't.
Nah,
No, honestly, I did not agree to this. I never once agreed. I said I'm not doing that, but she keeps saying I'm going to do it. So if my Kickstarter goes over 4,000, I have to go on her show and cluck like a chicken. I was like, I did
you
not.
said so. Do that.
I said I did not agree to that. She's like, well, you're going to do it anyway. So there's a stretch goal for you. I got to go on a show and cluck like a chicken.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, if you do that, I'll do it with you.
All right. Now I might actually do it. I'll let her know.
Just let Lori know. Lori knows I'll play any game.
Awesome. Yeah, she's convinced it's going over 4,000. I said I've never reached over 4,000, so we'll see.
Well, you still got a long wait. You got almost 3 weeks.
Yeah. I need
So,
another 1,065. So we'll see. Now it goes slow. My goal in life is to be able to run a Kickstarter for 1 week and make 6,600. That is my goal in 1 week. If that ever happens, I'm going to have 1 week campaigns and have it monthly because there'll be a space for people. But so I'm hoping because I love doing Kickstarters. I hate doing them for so long. So, and it's
well,
not just people cancel. I had 2 people cancel, or I had 9 adjustments the day of, which was like crazy. And then I had like 3 people cancel the second day. I'm like, usually people don't have regrets until like 2 days later. So I only had 1 cancellation from one. I think it was a new person, which happens. It was just weird that it was the second day. Like, okay.
I mean, it's. I think what happens to a lot of people is like, "Ooh, I want to support you. I want to get everything." So they pledge a high amount, and then reality kicks in, right? And it's like, maybe I can't do as much as I thought I could.
It doesn't usually kick in 24 hours.
No, and usually, I tell you when it usually kicks in, the last week, right?
Yep. Always the last week. Okay, so how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I might have to order some. We'll see, because that's only 80 backers. So,
Well, you got 76 backers. Somebody else jumped in today.
oh,
You're at
sweet.
29.40 now.
Yeah, the last 3 have been, which I don't mind, $5, but it's always when it's right about to go over the 1,000 that they're only $5. So I was like, that's good. I'll take it because I want like I need at least 122 backers, so it's 1 more than last time. But my sweet spot would be 150 because I've never gotten that high. So, but we'll see.
Definitely, we got to get you there. Well, I mean, we got 3 weeks, so let's definitely.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, question for you.
Sure.
Who has the original art for this one?
I do.
Would you sell it?
No.
Damn you. Because it's Justin Hunt with CC De La Cruz. That's why. I mean, Justin's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, it's Ken Hunt did the original art. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have it over here in my closet. Do you want to see it? I'll go get it.
I want to see it. You know
Okay.
me. I'm a huge OA guy.
I have all. If it's not digital, I have to own the art, or I refuse to buy it. So let me see. I got a whole bunch here, so I got to figure out which is. But But yeah, I can't. I wish, but I can't. I would make so much money if I did.
You would.
Yeah, I got offered. So somebody offered $500 for the Anubis original art, and I actually gave it to my co-writer as a present. Let me see. Ken Hunt. Oh, it's right here.
Ah, that's so pretty.
Look at that. It's gorgeous. Let's see. I have that one. I have one that there's only one I might sell because it's not my main characters. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to or not. But it's the do you know the Anubis? Which one's this one? Oh, the Anubis from issue 6. Let me see.
From the regular cover?
No, it's that one.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one.
This is my most besides Ken Hunt, this is my most popular print at the cons. Everyone bought that, and the I have that in metal too. I never brought metal covers, or I didn't have them. I don't think I had them. Metal covers to the con, so I'm gonna bring them because they look so much prettier in person than they do anywhere else. So.
They do. I mean, I had one, and it got bent, and I was so mad because they're so expensive, right? Like, I mean, when you buy, like, they're $30 to $40 per metal print, and so I was so mad. It got bent at a convention on the way home.
Oh, I handed mine to one of my clients because a couple of my clients backed me, and she dropped it right there in front of me, and it bent the corner. So I had to bring her a new one. So I have the bent one. But yeah, I had to do that. So
it's hard. It's like even when you get a metal cover, right? Like on a comic, it's like if you get that bend, or like my favorite one, I had one where the glue was not right 100% from the cover, and so the bottom started coming off and bending upwards, and I'm like, I just put me a little bit of glue in there, smooshed it down.
Yeah.
Problem fixed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean my metal covers they sell, but not as good as my trading cards. My trading cards sell up really fast. I have sets of them. And I've been doing every campaign now. I'm doing all 3 covers in trading cards. So every time I'm gonna have at least 3 new trading cards. So when I just got the newest one, let me see if I have it here. I got I don't know if you saw the Christmas. Did you get the Christmas? Oh yeah, if you got the hardcover, you got it. The Serafina and the yeah, this is a metal card with it. Yeah.
Let's see. I got a lot.
You had to be the first. Maybe you didn't. It had to be the first 20 because I didn't buy a lot.
No, all I got was the print.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, the print that was available. I just made these now. So
okay. Yep.
But I didn't know if you had the print or not. So yeah, we have the metal trading card for the next campaign. I'll have them. So
yeah, I'm usually a big print guy, so it's like, that's why I keep all the old ones.
Oh,
like the Ken, and then
I just printed. That's my favorite one. I just printed the the hardcover. The front. I just got that printed. It's on its way. So next campaign, I'll put one out for you. Yeah. So, oh yeah. So far so good. I'm really shocked that it funded so quickly. I panic every single Kickstarter, so I'm never gonna. And Lori has to talk me down from the gallows every time. I always say it's gonna be my shortest. So, but I have them so often, so a lot of people can't afford it as often as I do. So I have a lot of people that they want it, but I have incredibly loyal but broke fans. What can I say?
Hey, actually, that's all comic fans, right? Like you can only do so many Kickstarters. So it's like when I first started, supporting Kickstarters, it was Coffin, Ethereal, Charter, and then a couple like Counterpoint, like Marat and Ryan Kincaid and those guys. But you can only do so much because if everybody's having one every other month, it's like you got to pick and choose. And then
Yep.
what do? Well, there's months you can't do it. Then you go pick up and catch up on the next one, right?
Yeah.
Or at least you pray that they do a catch up tier.
I
You know?
always do. I actually, that's one of the things that a lot of people don't do. I don't know who I was on somebody's podcast like 2 days ago, and they said, who was I on? They said they wanted the back issues, and the guy said no. How do you get new readers if you don't sell them back issues? That's insane. Like, I don't get how that works.
I mean, unless
So
you offer the graphic novel version or a
I had
hardcover version,
nothing. No back issues.
you're just
No
throwing away
PDF.
money then.
No, nothing. How are you going to read it? How are you going to bring new readers? How are you going to do that? I had people buy issue 1 all the time. So I have people that buy issue 1 and issue 2 because Anubis is in 2. I have people that go and I have 4 really great backers that came in, which I thought was insane. And my ego was boosted completely for like 4 seconds. I don't have a lot of ego, but they went and they bought every single variant and back issue there was, which came out to be a couple $100. I mean, they spent a fortune. And then I have it where people have come to me and said, okay, so you have a plushie here, you have these tiers, but you don't have add-ons. Can I get both or whatever? And it was like 4 a.m. I was like, yep. I was like half awake. So like they want the 2 plushies and a t-shirt that were the individual tiers. I put them together for them and they bought it. It was like $264 and they were thrilled. So yeah, if somebody wants something and then you don't see the tier, I had one person come up to me and, or I said, hey, write to me and say, I don't see the individual trading cards, the metal trading cards. Can you set it up for me? And I did that. So yeah, if you see something you want, or you saw something in a past one, because I have them all, I have the statues. It's so exhausting to do all the add-ons for Kickstarter. I wish that you could hit a duplicate button for the next one. But that would only really be useful for the comic people, right? Because who else does? So they're never going to do that. So every single Kickstarter, I have to add 30 tiers and then the 30 add-ons, and it's exhausting. So, but I do it because everyone loves it, and I've been called now the merch queen, and they shop like it's a store, and it's really funny because Lori was like, "You don't do a live launch anymore," and I was like, "Well, because I get anxiety because it takes so long to read my page that there's like no pledges for like the first 20 minutes while people are reading the page, and then all of them will shoot up, you know." But it's hard for me to sit there live and be like, okay, there's no pledges yet, and then whatever.
Well, they're
Yeah.
coming. That's the thing is like,
Yeah.
and they're right. You are the merch queen because
Yeah.
nobody
Yeah.
sells more merch than you do.
I got made fun of so much when I first started. They all called me stupid, or you why are you doing all this? You're an indie, you're not supposed to have all this. And I was like, but I wanted it. And now I have so much, and what you see is like 60% of what I have. I still have more merch that I just haven't listed yet. So yeah, I have a ton to go. And like I said, Chatty doesn't even come in till issue 10, which is our vampire chameleon bat. And I do have, it's going to be an add-on that you can get any 2 colors you want, which I can't wait. And so yeah, I have tons of merch, and I buy it all first. Like Lori yells at me all the time, "Are you supposed to buy it after?" I'm like, they don't buy it, they don't want it. I have an army of plushies. I don't really care. But that's usually why I buy 1 to 2 plushies, because I buy one for me and I buy one for my co-writer and then one for the Kickstarter. So if it sells, then great. If it doesn't, we have an extra one. It's not a big deal. The only one I took the huge risk on was this one. I bought 100 of them. I think it's definitely going to pay off though. I'm going to regret not getting the 300 of them, because you can save $300 by buying 300 of them. But I did not have the guts for that yet.
That's a lot, right? Like
That's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot of plushies.
Yeah, that was a lot. But I was like, oh, you saved 300 because it was $1 cheaper per one, so you saved $300. But I just could not get myself to do it, especially because Rob Murtari is like, I've had these for a year or something, or not even a year, like 6 months, and I haven't even sold 100. I was like, well, if you can't sell them, but he doesn't have Anubis. I mean,
No, exactly.
his is awesome. I have his. And his is really, really high quality. I do want to get this. I'm
Oh
looking to
yeah,
get, yeah, I'm looking to get that. Um, Hi, Mikey's action figures.
Mikey,
That's
that's
another
my
thing I
boy.
need. I need action figures. I have contacted the production people that I had met at like a con where they said, "Oh, I got mine through this," and blah blah. They never got back to me. I wrote them like 3 times, but I want action figures. I want an Anubis action figure. I want all the angels and demons. I want obviously Seraphina and Raven. Um, but yeah, so but these
Well,
should ship in like 3 or 4 days. They said, so we'll see.
fingers crossed. Because
Yeah,
well, here's what I was thinking too. If you're wanting an action figure, um, so Loose Collector, who works with Executive Replicas, right? They're
mhm.
doing all of the independent ones now. Like they're doing the coffin. They're doing. They just. I just got my she in from
Yeah, but
Billy
how much is
Pucci.
it to get the prototype done? Because that's the problem.
That's the question. I don't know. You would
Yeah.
have to talk to them, but I know as individual cost, it's $60 to $70 per figure to the
Yeah, I
customer.
don't think I have the backership to do that yet. Eventually I want to. I think I'm gonna have more leeway when I have like I don't know how high up my readers will go, but if it gets over 200 or something, I have a little bit more leeway, to
Mhm.
get things like that. But man, I mean, that's how much I sell my plushies for. It's I don't know if the action figures will do. I mean, I've seen some amazing statues, but shipping that stuff is insane. So
It is, and the other catch too is like you have to have it made overseas, right? And it's going to be made there. Then you're going to pay the import cost to get it shipped on the container to over here.
yeah.
Because I used to run a toy shop, so I
Yeah.
know how
Well,
that
then
goes.
I mean,
Yeah,
to get this prototype done was 100. I had no
yeah,
idea what it was going to look like. And I prototyped this and I prototyped this for 100. Um, which I do like him, but I don't think he'll sell. I mean, I think he'll sell, but not as fast as Anubis.
got
Because, people that don't read the comic, that's why it's a tier by itself. People that don't read the comic want Anubis. And as much as I love Croc and I think he's absolutely adorable, I'll just get the handmade ones. So I do have him, but he cost me $100 for a prototype. And it took, I kid you not, it's so funny. It took 4 complete tries. You don't pay per each time. But I thought for sure, I was like, oh, they're gonna do Croc perfectly. But the Anubis is no way it's gonna look right. Croc looked awful. Like he looked absolutely appalling. And when I first saw it, I hadn't seen Anubis yet, and I said, I want to cancel Anubis. There's no way if you can't do a dog, a hound look like a hound. There's no way you're gonna do Anubis. She's like, no, we can do it, we can do it. And this was the first try, and I was like, holy crap, how did you do that right and not the dog? Um, so yeah, I don't know how they did that right on the first try, but I was like, yeah, I want those. So take
it.
my money. And yeah, they shipped it to me, Anubis in 7 days. I got it. I think with production, what was like 10, 15 days, but I got it and I was like, it's such high quality. Um, and it sounds awful. I don't think the foam staff is high quality. You have the really, really
Mhm.
high quality. But I told everybody, I was like, the foam, it looks cool, but from the back, it's just foam. It's like, so you have this
Yeah.
really high quality plushie, and then you have this foam. So I don't like it. But when I posted it online, so many wanted the foam staff. I was like, fine. And they didn't take any off the price. So I was like, whatever. But so I got 50 with the staff and then 50 without it. So I got the plushies with the staff, 3D staff. So I'm gonna see which sells, but the foam sells really well. Um, but we'll
See, I
see.
like the 3D staff better than the
I
foam.
like the 3D staff too. I think it's gorgeous. And it's so well made. Um, and it's optional. You can take it off. He doesn't have to
Yeah.
hold it. He can take it off. Which is the foam one. It's not optional. You can't. I mean, you can cut it off, but
Yeah, but then you're gonna mess up the plushie.
yeah, yeah, it's not good. But yeah, so I have that, and we'll see how many people buy. I don't know how many to bring to the con, but I'm going to see how many sell this. I think the con's not till June, and I have 3 campaigns till then. So
You
I got
might be a
yeah,
little
it might
low by then.
yeah yeah. So I have the campaign now until the 1st of February. Then I have March 4th, and then I have May something. I'm not sure what my May is. Let me see.
And then you need to come here in October for Cowtown.
I've been told that. Yeah, Lori's been dying for me to go there.
Because
So
last
March.
time it was a blast. Me, Lori, Ken, and everybody. We all just hung out all day on Saturday.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think I need to push it back a little bit. I'm trying to decide. So I have the complication of I was trying to see if I should split book 3. Sledgehammer! Hey!
Sledgehammer.
I love him.
I do
Um,
too.
he's got a con. I'm going to see him at. It's a smaller con, but it's only the first one, so it might be big in Kentucky. So I'm torn. So I wanted to do. I didn't know if I should split book 3 in half, like a part A and part B. And the guy that I was doing a show on is like, don't do that. So now I'm like, then I can't have a hardcover next year because I have 10 issues and because I have to go every other month. So I'm trying to decide, can I get an issue or two in this year? So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try and see what happens because I love having a hardcover every year. But I don't know. It's 10 issues, so we'll see. They'll be made, probably finished made this year before they even are released the way my artist is going.
Well, if he's going to be done with 12, that'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah, 8 through 12 is book 2, and 13 through 22 is book 3. So he takes him about a month per, and it's so funny. So Matt Chambers, who's the colorist, he cracks me up because when he came on, I said, before you agree to this, 1, you have to agree to all 5. I don't want to change during the cut, whatever. I said, but 2, I'm not going to rush you because first he wants to do 1 page per day. I was like, you can't. No. I was like, it takes too long. You have to do at least 2 per day, which he's done at least on average. It doesn't have to be every day. And he said, okay, I can do 2. I was like, okay. I said, but at first he's like, Lori pays me every other day. And I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm like, this is for life. This is until I die or lose my house. So I'm not going to pay you 2 day because with her, it's like it's like, one per 6 months.
Yeah.
So I said, I'll pay you on Fridays, either before or after. I don't care, but I'm only paying you 1 day. And he's fine with that. But I don't think he understood because I said, this is nonstop work. This, you gotta understand that it's going to keep coming. So there's no lulls in between issues. I don't think he believed me because he finished issue 8 and I was like, all right, here's 5 from issue 9. He's like, are you crazy? I was like, nope, get to work. And then when that was done, it was 10. And then he finished 10. And now he's in the middle of coloring 11. I think he just did page 20. So I think he has, we already did page 29. So he has 8 more pages to do. And the letterer is doing simultaneously because we have like this assembly line, that goes through. The colors. Here's the color for you to letter. So it's an assembly line. So issue 11 should be done in, I'm going to say 2 more weeks. And issue 12 will be done, sketched out next week. And then he'll start inking. And he can usually do all the inking in like 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how detailed it is. He's getting more and more detailed. And he's like, oh, it's going to take me longer. It takes him like a day to do 4. Don't tell me it's going to take you longer. Yeah, I love working with him. My wallet cries all the time, but I love it because like I got 5 sketch pages today. I had 5 yesterday, Wednesday, and he goes to school on Thursdays for drawing. And then I had 7 2 days in a row, and I was like, how are you already on 19? So was this 19 or yeah, we're at 19. So he's already halfway done. There's 40 pages in issue 12. So he's halfway done sketching them. And his sketching looks better than a lot of people's finished work. So exactly how. So he thinks it's sketching like that. I'd print that. If that was all you did, I would print that. So
there's a couple people like that. Like I'll look at like him, Bladen Hunter, from Ethereal, like you see their sketches, you're like, all right, you're done. Like it, because there's a difference, like between rough, right? We have rough sketches, then we have finished sketch pencils, and then we have inks, and then we have colors. But some of these rough sketches that you see, like, dude, you're like almost there already, and it's
yeah. He did for only 1. He did issue 8. I don't know why. he did the puppet looking ones, just the circles, and
Yeah.
then that was the only time he did that. And I think he didn't like it. It took him too long to do because he had 3 parts. He had to do that, then he did sketching, and then he did, so he skipped it. And on 9, he just started doing these really cool sketches, and I was like, I'm good with that. And he's been fine with it. So I don't know how he does it so fast, but I don't know. He could have Oompa Loompas doing it. I really don't care at this point. I was like, as long as they get done. And I get made fun of all the time because we're so far ahead. But there's a couple of reasons why. Like, I've been told by Lori all the time. She stopped saying it because she gave up. But she was originally saying, you can slow down. She's like, you can slow down making them. And I was like, okay, there's 2 reasons why I can't. One, my artist quit his job for me. Like, in the second issue we were working on, he's like, I don't have enough time to do this in my and he quit his job. And I was like, okay. Like, I was like, if you think you can. So one, I kept it up so that he doesn't go anywhere. I don't want to lose him. And obviously, 2, okay, there's 3 reasons. 2, sooner or later, he's going to be popular enough that he's going to be too busy to do every month. So this way, if we're so far ahead, if it takes him 3 months to do each one, we're so far ahead that it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And 3, I cannot go without pages. I mean, yeah, my wallet cries, but man, I mean, he doesn't draw on the weekends, and I have withdrawals in 2 days. So, and he doesn't draw on Thursdays because he's in school. So I'm like, oh, it has a hard time to go one day. So yeah, I couldn't skip it. I did tell him to take time off for Christmas, and he took the week off, and then he whined about it, and he's like, I want to come back and draw. So, so don't blame me. Everyone's like, you overwork your artist. Is like, don't look at me. I told him to take a month off so I can save up some money, but nope. He's like, I can't go that long. He took a vacation for 1 month when we first started. And, my husband said, don't bother him, don't message him, leave him alone. I was like, okay, I didn't say anything. 2 weeks in, he's messaging me saying, I miss drawing. I want to come back to all the pages. I was like, enjoy your vacation. And then he was supposed to do that again for this Christmas, but he bought a dog. So he's like, I'm not taking my month off. I was like, okay. So yeah, I might be a little bit obsessed, Nate, just a little bit.
Well, here's the thing: is like, you're right. He's going to get to the point where he's going to get better and better and better over time. Other people are going to pick him up, and that's called the evolution of an artist, right? Like, we've seen that in many of our. But look at Cece De La Cruz, right? Like, she started out being, doing just little things here and there, and then she gets picked up with Coffin. She started doing everything for Coffin, right? And now she's doing it for across the board for so many people.
Yeah.
Same way with Sanju, Nimbu. Between those 2, you see them coloring all the time, everywhere.
Yeah, and everyone loves his art. So that's another reason why I might not be able to afford him someday. So I might as well get as many done as I can so that I can save.
Or his rate goes up, and you're like, oh, I can't do that one no more.
Yeah, because actually, what happened is he needed his rate to go up because it's killing me because he was severely underpaid and doing everything. And I was like, well, you have a choice. I either pay you a little bit more or you stop coloring and lettering. And he's like, okay. So this issue cost me more. It cost me about $1,000 more per issue now because I'm paying for the colorist and the letter. And it's worth it. But now it's more of a risk because if I don't sell them, I'm $1,000 more in the hole. Exactly. And I was scared to do it, which is why Lori knows why I'm so terrified of this one. I was like, this is the first one that if it doesn't, and if it ever goes over 6,000, then it, like, whatever gets over 6,000 gets split among the team. So if it ever does get big, my letterer and my artist and everything will make more. So I'm hoping that eventually it will. My goal is 6.6. Eventually, obviously it's not going to happen the next 2-3 years, but eventually that's what my big goal would be, because that would cover, I can pay my artist more. And I can have a little bit extra for the next one because I pay per month. So we're hoping, but for now, we're just, strolling along, trying to get all these done.
But it is growing. Like, you can see it, like, over the time frame that when we first talked over a year ago, right? Like, you can see, like, the amounts are going up, the backers are going up, so the word is getting out there that people, know about your book. And
my fastest campaign, I think, was July, and it took 16 days to get to 2,600. And I did 2,900 in 4 days. So they are spending more. And that's a good sign. So yeah, hopefully it'll keep that trend, because I have 90 of these to go, and that's only series 1 and 2. I mean, series 3 just started, so by the time I get to series 3, series 4 will probably be done. And again, I don't know if I'm going to write them no matter what. So they'll be written. But series 3 is super exciting, and we're searching for, we have this journey going on. Series 4 is the war between all of the cult, all the religions. You got the Anubis and the Egyptian gods, and then you have Hecates and Hades and all of the Greek gods, and then you have them against heaven and hell. So it's going to be interesting to write, but it's going to be a long time till we get there. So we'll see how that goes. Only time will tell, and we'll see. My house is paid off in like 4 years, so after that, man, no holds bars. So.
Exactly. 2 books a month.
Yeah, that's right. I told my artist we're gonna have to clone him eventually so we can get these out faster. But yeah. So, wow, man,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy, and like I said, you're already funded for this one already, so everything else could just be additional on top of it. But we need to get you to at least 3,000 on this one.
That's what I'm hoping. My goal for these are 3.3, because I need $3,000 and they take 300 out. So 3.3 is my goal. So my first goal funded, and then my second goal is, and I've been yelled at. They're like, why don't you do 3,000 for your goal? And I was like, there's a couple of reasons. One, it's so much more stressful. I got 1,000 and then I'm happy. The other thing is they're already made. So the thousands to print them, so as long as they get 1,000 to print it, I have it. So these people that do like, oh, my goal is 4,000, and then they get like 3,500, you lost all that because you didn't put, and I understand that for people that haven't made them yet. Like if you can't make it without it, then that's fair. But a lot of people already have them made, so what are you going to do with it now if it's not funded?
Better pray the LCS sells it then.
Yeah. So I'm happy with my 1,000, my goal. So I'll stick with that.
Awesome. All right. So when's your next convention?
I don't have a convention that I have a table at until June. I'll be in Nashville. I'm doing far less this year because I don't want to travel. Every time I go to these damn cons, I can't see anybody, so now I'm going to the Atlanta, the Lexington, Supernatural, of course. So I think I have 4 I'm attending, like I'm good to go, and then I have Nashville I'm going to be at. So I'll be in Nashville the June 1st and 2nd. Okay. I love that it's not Friday. I hate Friday cons. They're never busy, and you're just sitting there. And then Saturday comes, and there's like 20,000 people. So I don't know why they do Friday at all. So Nashville's only Saturday and Sunday. I made not a fortune, but I got my money and my table. I got everything, my money back, and that's the first. And now I have hardcover, so I'm hoping that sells. So we'll see. And then Anubis plushies, so we'll see how that does. So yeah, June 1st and 2nd, I'll be in Nashville Fairgrounds, and then I'll be there. My Kickstarters are going to be every other month. The next one's March 4th, and then after that's April. So yeah, March, April. No, yeah, it might be in April because of the way that the thing comes, but we'll see. Right now it's March 4th is the next one. But they're all made, so so whenever I launch, that's when they'll be. The only reason why I don't do sooner is because I think people are too broke. So
exactly. Yeah. Well, like this is perfect timing, right? Like it's right after the first of the year, so Christmas is over. But I will tell you, as a customer to anybody out there in Kickstarter land, you do it during Christmas month, it's hard, right? Like everybody's already strapped for that month. So that's why
I took Christmas off. My last campaign for the hardcover was in November. I think it ended December 1st. Yep. And then it did really well. And then I took December off, and I had no idea what to do with myself. So it was awful. I had no idea what to do. I was like, I have nothing to stress me. I don't know what to do.
Good for us, bad for you.
Yeah. But yeah. So if anyone wants to find me, obviously I'm on Kickstarter all the time. I already have issue 9 as a pre-launch. I haven't told anybody because I figure I'll just tell them after. But we're always in pre-launch or live. So just search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter, and we're the only thing that pops up. So
Definitely. Everybody needs to join in, get in on this. And there's a lot of good goodies on this one, y'all.
Yeah, take your time and look at the tiers, and then you have to go through all the add-ons. And as a Kickstarter person, I used to never go through the add-ons, but let me tell you, go through the add-ons because there's a lot of cool stuff.
Take your time, look through it. That's what I do. You know, it's like when I saw that you had the coloring book, right? I grabbed that this time.
Yeah, well, 2 is coming out probably in March, so there'll be another one for you.
Sweet. I like that.
Yeah, and probably also the other ones, the prequel and the spin-off issue 1. So if you want those printed, they're probably going to be March. But I'm only going to buy like 25 of them. So if you people want them, there's only 25. So
you know, I'm going to buy them because I collect everything.
Yeah, that's why you're one of the best backers, because we know you're going to buy stuff. So
between you and Lori and William and heck, even freaking, I just got done buying off of the Fading, Kickstarter that Chris had. So it's like, support charter, support local, support independent.
Yeah, charter's awesome. Everyone's this indie's the way to go. I don't even look at mainstream anymore. Screw it. It's just there's no passion anymore. The art's not as good. The art's really not as good. I mean, you see some of the stuff coming out, and you're like, that's indie or is that main? So yeah, go indie all the way, man. So
that's right. All right. Yeah. So where can people reach you at if they try to get a hold of you?
So you can find me anywhere. Just search Worthy Chaos. I'm on Twitter X and Instagram. I don't like Instagram, but I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I don't use it either, but I'm on there. Facebook is the best to contact me in. I have a Facebook group, Worthy Chaos, where there's 700 members. Everyone indie can post their stuff, their Kickstarters, their podcasts, their art, their commissions, whatever. You can post it. And then I'm on Kickstarter. I'm on Kickstarter, but I'm on Facebook, Corissa Grant. You can add me. I'm running out of space on my friends list, but I think I have like 4,991. So 8 of you can join. But I don't even know how to go about with Twitter. I would go through, and whoever isn't following me, I would just, but I don't, in Facebook, you can't really do that. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I don't have the heart to cancel anybody. So we'll see how that works. But yeah, that's me, Worthy Chaos everywhere. And thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate it.
Always. It's always a blast. We do this every Kickstarter for a reason. We have fun.
Yeah. I always have fun on this show, and I love coming on. And I'm now going live for myself on Mondays at 8 because it's more like a creator hangout. So if you ever want to come on, anyone can come on. And I'm not like you. I'm not organized. I can't have interviews. I don't want to book people. You want to come on the show, you come on. I had 2 people say, can I come on? I was like, if you show up before the other people, yeah, I can have up to 10 people. So come on and come on. And otherwise, I'm just not organized enough to be an interviewee like Lori with the questions. So many questions. I'm not organized. I can't ask questions. I can ask 1,000 questions, but I can't have to ask questions. So yeah, but anyone can come on, and if they have a Kickstarter, you're welcome to show off and all that stuff. But yeah, so but thanks again for having me on.
Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.
Have a good night.
Good night, y'all.
Bye.